Welcome to the QuickCharts Getting Started video. In this video, we're going to go through all the features of QuickCharts so that you can get to writing drill quickly. First of all, when you open the software, you'll see that there is a label on the bottom in red here that says to click on the field to add a position. And it says you can drag and drop positions. That means you can click on one of these and you can drag it around anywhere you want it. Take your finger off the mouse and it'll leave it in that spot. It says you can only add positions to set 1. So if you look at the blue label here in the top left, if I were to switch to set 2 and click on the field, you'll notice that I can't add any positions to the field. You can only do that in set 1. Once you're here, you can check out the shortcut keys over on the left-hand side. It tells you what you can do with positions that are selected. And you'll notice that as I add positions to the field, the one that I most recently added has a number that's white on the inside of it. That means that that position is selected. Now, the shortcut keys over here tell me that if I were to use my arrow buttons, up, down, left, right, I can slowly move that position across the field. If I want to move it a little quicker, I can use WASD, and that'll move it quickly around the field. Or, of course, you just click on it and drag it to move it super quickly. You can toggle forward and backwards numerically with the Z and the X buttons through the positions that are selected here on the field. If you want to get rid of one, you just hit the delete button whenever it's selected. In fact, I can get rid of all of them like this. If you want to undo or redo, that shows you here. That's U for undo and R for redo. And you can undo deleting, or you can undo moving. There's other places you can redo and undo. You can go to the Edit menu bar up here, and you can click on Undo, Redo, or you can click on Display in the menu bar, and here it says Left Sidebar Display. Right now we're on the shortcut keys. You can push Tools. That will give you Undo, Redo as well. QuickCharts also has a built-in way to select more than one position on the field at a time. So I'm going to add some positions here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push Control, and I'm going to click on anything else that I want to have selected as well. So now you can see everything selected. And from this point, I can use my up and down, left, right arrows, or my WASD buttons to move everything all at once as a big formation. I can press Control and click on any individual one that I don't want to be selected anymore. And then I'll only have the selected ones that I'm moving. And if you decide that you're finished moving them as a formation and you want to go back to only having one selected, quick way to do that is just to pick any random position on the field and just click it. Everything else will be unselected except for that. You can also change the color of the points on the field. You can do that from a couple places. If you have the tool menu bar up, you can do it from point colors. Otherwise, you can go up to Tools and go to Change Point Colors. This menu box is going to pop up, and just choose whichever color you want. If you don't like the colors that are there, you can customize the color, and whenever you do, and you save it, you'll see that the chosen color is here. Now you can click on points, and what it's going to do is it's going to change the color of those points. You can group them together, like by section if you want to. You can also click on the field to add points that are that color. And you can use multiple colors as you're doing this. Whenever you X out of this and you start adding positions to the field again, they're going to be back to the default red. So anytime that you want to add points that are a certain color, make sure you have that Point Colors tool open. And you're going to go up to Display from the menu bar up here. First thing you can do is you can show or hide the bottom label. That's the red label on the bottom. If you don't like it, you can make it go away and bring it back if you want to. You can toggle the grid. That's the darker lines on the field. You can have them gone or not. Tick marks, those are the vertical white lines between the yard markers. So you can have those there or not. You can have dark lines every 8 steps on the field or not. I like to have them there. It's easier to work with them there. And you can change the sidebar to either have shortcut keys like it does now or a toolbar. And most importantly, I think, is the grid style. Now, I want to emphasize that you should do this at the very beginning, anytime that you're setting up drill. You don't want to do this after you've written drill. You want to do it before you write drill. It's it's going to be tough to change things after you started writing, other than just going through and individually moving every position to make it match the grid. But this is going to change the grid itself. We've got 3 different high school grids to choose from and 2 different college grids to choose from. The difference between a high school grid and a college grid has to do with the hash marks right here. This is a high school grid. The college grid, the hash marks are going to be closer together. There you can see that the hash marks have moved. So you're going to want to write depending on what style of field you're on. Now, the default here is the high school true measurements, grid set to front hash, meaning that this is a true 8 to 5 grid, and the dark line of the grid is in line with the home side hash marks right here. But whenever you're doing a true 8 to 5 step like this with the grid, then you'll notice that the back hash mark does not line up with the grid. Now, this is normal. This is what most directors would do. It's the default. And it's going to be the way that is the true 8 to 5 step. Now, if you would like to go here and ignore the margin of error, what that means is we have changed the grid to be just a little bitty bit off so that it's not a true 8 to 5, and we have put the hash marks right on the grid. Not recommended, but some people will do that. Just make sure that you tell your marchers that's what you're doing so that everybody knows the way that this was written. You could do a true measurement with the grid centered. That means that this is a true 8 to 5. We've moved the grid just a little bit. It's not lined up with this hash right here, but you'll notice that I'll get rid of the tick marks, that neither one of the hashes is exactly on the line. They're both equally off of the line. So that equally spaced the error of it not being on the line. Now for college, it's recommended that you do this one, which lines up a couple of things. Number one, it lines up the gray line here with the hash mark on the home side, but it also has the grid originate. This is a true square right here from the home sideline. And that is this one. It says recommended. College, true measurements, true 8 to 5, grid originates from the sideline. College, ignore margin of error. Adjust hashes to the grid. Not recommended. So the hash mark itself has been adjusted. The issue here is your hash mark is not going to be adjusted to the grid whenever you're on the football field. They're not going to move the hash for the band. It's going to be where it's going to be. So it's recommended that you do one of these that says recommended beside it. So whenever you first start making your drill, choose one of these. I would either go with the recommended high school or the recommended college. And if not, just let your marchers know what's going on. Let them know the theory behind it and how they can make adjustments. There are multiple ways to change sets. Now, when you first start, you're going to be on set 1, and the shortcut key menu here tells you that if you press numbers, it'll take you to the corresponding set. For instance, if I hit 3, we'll be on set 3. 9 takes you to 9. 0 is going to take you to 10. It tells you if you press Shift and press one of those numbers, you'll be in the teens. Shift plus 5 is 15. Shift plus 9 is 19. Shift plus 0 is going to take you to 20. That's as far as you can get with your number pad. You can also use N for next. You can use B for back. You can use these buttons over here, next set, previous set. You also have a menu button up here that says set. You can go next and previous, or you can choose whichever set you want from the drop-down menu. Now, whenever you create a set like set 100, what I've essentially done is I have copied these positions in this exact same order from sets 1 all the way through 100. So not a huge issue, but you may want to avoid trying to hit 100 because then you've got 100 sets that are full of that.
It is possible to draw a line on the field to use as a reference.
You can get there from the toolbar here where it says draw a line, or from where it says shapes, line. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the field once for your starting point, a second time for your ending point. There's your line. It's going to stay there until you come over here and press the button that says erase line. Once the line is on the field, then you can add as many points to it as you would like. Space them out however you want. Kind of use it just as a ruler, as a reference. And once you have everything where you want it, Click on Erase Line, and there you'll have a line on the field. Let's talk about how to make an animation. To make an animation, you have to have more than one set. So I'm going to hit 2 to go to set 2. And whenever I do that, you'll notice that set 2 looks exactly like set 1 because it just copies it right on over. But now I'm going to select all of these, and I am going to just move them 8 steps over. And now if I go back to 1, you'll see 1 is still there, 2 is over here, and there's multiple ways I could animate this. I could push play. By default, it takes 2 seconds to happen. I'm going to go ahead and make a set 3 as well, but for set 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let this line rotate. So move these real quick. And now this time I'm going to press the M button. You'll see in our shortcut keys that M is how you animate. M stands for move. There's set 1, set 2, rotates up into set 3. I can come over here and I can set this to start from a different set. So now when I press M, it's going to actually start from set 2 and go to set 3. I can also go to animate, and it's going to animate from the entered set. Exact same thing. It's also possible to view anything in 3D. The shortcut menu tells us that V stands for visualize, as in visualize it in 3D. So if I press V, this 3D viewer is going to pop up. Now, down in the bottom left corner of the 3D viewer, it tells you that you can rotate this with the mouse. You could also use your arrow buttons. That would be as if you were tilting your head side to side or up and down. You can use WASD, and that is if your entire body were to move up, down, left, right. You can zoom in with 1 and 2. It says that you can toggle the shortcut display with H. That just makes it go away. And escape's going to exit the 3D viewer. You can also get there from here. You can change the 3D model style. Currently we got aliens like you were just viewing. You can also do minions. You can do small screen or full screen. And all the animation buttons work the same here. I can press M and you can see that it's being animated from set 2 still, because that's what it says over on the right hand side. Set 3. I can change this here. I can press V. I can hit M, and there I'm going to move with the M button.
You can add sound to your marching drill.
And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and click on sound, choose audio, and then you're going to find your audio file from your file menu. It only works with .wav files, so you have to load a WAV file. If you've got a sound file on your computer that's something other than .wav, you can convert it. I would suggest going to Google, say you have an MP3 file, just Google free MP3 to WAV converter, and then you can just upload your file and it will convert it pretty quickly for you. I am going to load the EIU fight song because I am a Panther from Eastern Illinois University. Now keep in mind everything's still set at a default 2 seconds per set, but whenever I hit play now, you can hear the music playing. Just a quick note about these sound files. Whenever you choose a sound file, you are not actually loading that sound file itself into your marching program. You're not saving a copy of it into your marching program. What you're doing is you are saving a file path to that sound. So what that means is don't delete it, because then it's not going to be able to find it. And also don't move it, because if you move it, then the file path is going to be incorrect. I would recommend making a copy of that sound file, maybe making a folder to put your drill in and putting that copy inside of it. So that way it's never going to move and it'll always be connected to it. If it does disconnect, that's not a bad thing. It's not horrible. You're going to hit play. It's going to tell you that it can't find it. All you got to do is go back up to sound, choose audio, and then find that file again. Once you have loaded your audio file, now you want to sync that audio file to your drill. So you will have gone through your drill, written out how many steps are going to be in each set, and now it's time to come on to set timings. It tells you to tap the space bar at the start of each set to record durations. Click start to start the music. You hit start. And then you're going to hit the space bar every time that you get to the end of a set, the last step of a set. Think of it as where you would yell hit if you were running through drill with the group. For instance, if the first one is 8 counts, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hit. And on hit, you're going to hit the space bar. Now, you don't have to do the entire song, just 3 sets if you wanted to, and then click out of it. And it's going to set those durations. Anything that you didn't set is going to stay at 2 seconds. And if you don't like it, you can come back and you can do it again, because every time that you hit this button and you hit start, it actually erases all previous timings. You're going to start over from scratch. So let's run through one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, space. 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 1, 2, 7 space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 space. Now I'm going to X out of it, and notice now when I hit play, it has recorded those durations. Now, what if I wanted to have, say, a hold somewhere? So for instance, we're going to go down to set 5, and I want to stay in this position through set 6 and then move after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 6, and I'm going to not change this whatsoever. We're going to keep 6 exactly like this. Now I'm going to hit 7, and I'm going to create set 7. We're going to move these positions, and I do realize you're going to see this whenever we animate this, that this is way farther than anybody's ever physically going to be able to move in 8 steps. But it's good for the sake of showing you how this works. Now I'm going to hit play, and you're going to see that there's a hold. There's our hold, because set 6 is the same thing. Then it moves. Also, you can play this back from any point that you want, because it's going to play back from that particular spot in the music. Even works whenever you press V to visualize. And when I hit play, or M to move, it's going to be in that same spot in the music. There's 2 buttons over on the right, copy set and paste, that we're going to talk about now. Copy set does exactly what you would think. It copies the entire set. So our drill so far goes up to set 7. Say that we want set 8 to be the exact same thing as set 1. So I went to 1, I clicked copy set. It's now on the clipboard. I am going to go to set 8 here, click paste, and now set 8 is exactly the same thing as set 1, because I copied it and I pasted it. There's a couple of reasons why this is useful. Number one is, say I wanted to go to set 9 now, and say I'm trying something out, and then I realize I just really don't like it, and I want to start over again. So I'm going to go back to 8, I'm going to copy it, come back to 9, paste it. Now I'm back where I started, and I can start over again from scratch. Another reason why this is really helpful is you can actually copy a set, close the program completely, and it's going to remember it. You could close it and you could walk away for a year and come back a year later, open it back up, and start a completely different file even. So we're going to go to new here, save work before closing. Nope. New file, hit paste, there it is. So the way I would use this is I would put each movement in one file and copy the very last set of the movement, start up a new file for the next movement, and paste it into set 1, and you're there at your starting point whenever you go to make your next movement. One of the most important features of QuickCharts is the ability to print out your charts so that you can teach them to your band. Over here in the shortcut key menu, it tells you that if you press P, preview print, you can see what it's going to look like whenever you print it out. Notice here that this is empty where it says counts. There's no notes up here at the top. We can edit that. So up here at the top of set 1, it says add edit set notes. And I'm going to put in here face the front, and we'll say something like full volume. And I would recommend doing up to 3 lines of text here. It gets a little it shrinks the print size if you go more than 3 lines. So try to keep it to 3, hit submit, and now it's going to show up at the top of set 1. If I go to set 2, it's not there anymore because it's only notes for set 1. I can add counts here. Now whenever I go press P to see the print preview, you can see what that's going to look like. The notes up here at the top. If you start adding more lines, it just shrinks the field a little bit. So 3 is a good number. It's going to show you the counts. And to print this out, what you're going to do is you're going to save a PDF file. You're going to go to Print, Generate PDF Charts, tell it which chart you want to, what set you want to start at, which one you want to end at. Generate PDFs. You're going to tell it to save it. It says you can now open your PDF document to print your drill charts. Let's see what that looks like. Here's my 5-page PDF file. You can see that at the top here, we've got the notes that I added. You've got the counts. Now these are blank because I haven't added them in. But you can print these off, and it's got the numbers in there so that the kids can see the numbers, the position numbers for each of the sets. And I would just, if it were me, open up like a Word file or something and make a file that says like a key of who is what number for whenever you go to learn these sets. At the time that I'm making this video, there is one bug that I'm aware of, and that is if you hit the play button twice, a second time while it's already playing, weird things happen and you end up having to shut the program down. I'm going to explain that to you in a moment, but first a little bit of a backstory. So I was a middle school band director for 19 years. I taught marching band one of those years. I am currently getting a master's in computer science, and emphasis is in software development. For one of my classes a year ago, I could make any software that I wanted. So I chose marching band drill writing software, this program. And I chose it because my wife is a high school band director, and her program doesn't have the money to buy anything more expensive to write drill with. So her options were either write it out by hand or me make something. So that's where this program originated. It was for her originally. Now, that being said, I'm not a big company. I don't have employees. It's me. I sit in my dining room and I write this on my computer. There's going to be some bugs. That's why I put my email at the top of the program here. I encourage you to email me with any bugs. You can email me your drill files if you'd like me to see them. And if you have any features you'd like added to this, email me. Anytime I fix bugs or I add features, whenever you open up your software, it'll tell you that there is an upgrade that you can upgrade and get the new features. So I'm going to be continually adding those for several years, I believe. So that being said, let's look at what happens when you hit play twice. I'm going to hit play. The music's going to start. I'm going to hit play again. It's going to start a second time from the beginning. I'm going to hit stop. It's going to stop one of the instances, but it'll keep going, and then the stop button. And now the only thing I can do to make this stop is I have to exit out of the program. This for the first time and you've still got the demo version, then you are stuck with only 4 sets, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to get to another set. You can still do everything in the demo version that you can in the regular version. You can animate things, you can see what things look like in 3D and animate. You can pull up your print screens and see what those are going to look like. You just can't go past set 4. So if you go up to version in the menu bar, you have an option to go to the QuickCharts version webpage. It has a list of all of the different version downloads. So if you want to revert, you could do that at some point. You can check for updates. I've got the latest version. If you don't, it'll give you where you can go to get the latest version. And you can push unlock full version. Now, when you push that, you're going to come up with this box here, and it's got a product key, which is unique to you. And you're going to need to put an unlock code in here. The way you're going to get the unlock code is that you're going to go to the website and you're going to pay through PayPal. PayPal is then going to give you the unlock code. You hit submit, it'll unlock it. There's also a note here that if you accidentally shut down the browser in the middle of paying and you don't get your unlock code, that's okay, because you can press this button down here that says, hey, I've already paid for this, and it'll check to see if you already paid and it'll retrieve the code, which is great because if you actually delete this program off of your computer and then you load it back up later, but you've lost the unlock code, you can click that and it'll check to see if you have software registered to this computer and you can retrieve it that way and it'll unlock it. But let's take a look at the web page to see what happens once you press that button. Once you press the unlock button, it's going to take you to this website where you can put in your first name, last name, and your email address. It's also going to ask for your product key. It actually sends this over automatically. It should automatically be in there. If not, you can come back here and click on copy key, and then you can paste that in the product key. You're going to hit submit, and once you hit submit, it's going to take you to PayPal, and at this point, you're logging into the account of the seller for this purchase. So it's not going to let me because I'm the one selling it. But it'll come up with a PayPal page where you can put in your information. And once the payment goes through, it's going to give you your product key. You pay, you will get your unlock code in your browser. It'll also be emailed to you just in case you shut the browser down. You're going to copy that, or in the browser, it actually has a copy button. And then you're going to paste it. Your unlock code spot, hit submit, and it'll say you're unlocked successful. And at that point, you'll be able to go to any set you want and you have full access to the program. Thank you for watching this video. Last thing I want to end with is the button up here that we haven't talked about yet, which is the social button. From here, you can go to the QuickCharts Facebook group. I encourage you to do that. Like and subscribe to it, follow it. It's not a page where it's just me writing things. You can write things as well. You can write comments, suggestions, questions, anything, and I'll respond to those. Thanks a lot.